I'm one of the two communications guys here at this particular checkpoint. This is the Chicken Hawk checkpoint just above Forest Hill. And my responsibility is to send all the information about arriving riders and leaving riders and horses so that that information can all be posted on the website that is active all during the race so that people can see where every horse is. Well, Tevis for me goes back a long ways. When I was 14, I got an amateur radio license out in West Texas. And at that point and ever since, in various places, in all the places we lived, I became involved in what is very typical for the amateur radio group, which is to come alongside the community as it needs communications help. Races, emergencies, fairs, all sorts of community activities can use communications throughout their facility or wherever they are. And the place where we are right now is one spot on a 100-mile race course from Lake Tahoe to the city of Auburn, California. So it was natural that when we came here, and I learned about this, we came here in 35 years ago in this part of California, that the Tevis horse race was on, an endurance race. There's also a people race, the Western States endurance race, where people do this. But this one is for horses, and so back in the 90s, the first time I became involved, I was a checkpoint on one of the places, and we had to leave the area for a while for my own employment. I'm an electrical engineer. There's not that much of that here in the foothills. And we came back, and when we came back in 2012, we immediately signed up and joined the Tevis Volunteer Group. So that would be, 11 years now we've been doing this. Except for, I think, 2020, we did not have a Tevis race because of COVID. The first riders here at Chicken Hawk are expected around 3 o'clock. Plus or minus, it really depends upon the conditions farther up the course and how fast they were able to travel. Right now it's 20 minutes till 3, so we're looking for a horse any minute now, our first horse. Our cutoff time, or the guideline, is 7:45 this evening. And that guideline is based on, if you're here at the site after 7:45, you're probably not going to make it to the finish line by 5:15 tomorrow morning, which is considered finishing the race. So if a rider waits too long, can't get out of the site because their horse hasn't recovered, then we pull them because there's no way they can make it. So our last horses will be out before 8 p.m. Our first one's most any minute now, and every site works exactly the same.
I can help right here. Thanks so much. Tell them that the food's through the back from the ground. I'll pick them up later. It's okay? It's okay?
This particular station, and there are two of us here at this checkpoint, my responsibility is to send all of the arrival times and departure times for every single horse to the net control station, which is at the Overlook in Auburn. And that information is automatically then added to the website where people can log in and see the status of all the horses in all the checkpoints along the entire course. And so we have runners here that will go between me and the in-timers who write down the time for every horse arriving and the out times for every horse that's leaving. In between, the horses are checked by the vets and authorized to continue on the course. But what we do is we maintain this online, fairly timely and accurate view of all 170 or 80 horses, however many we've got on the course today, as they come in and out of all their various checkpoints. Because these sites are too small for people to go to. So the only way folks will know is by these relaying all this information. And the way I do it is that I transmit by radio to Michigan Bluff. A Michigan Bluff station connects it into the internet, and it goes via the internet to the webcast people at the net control station in Auburn. So after I send the data, it probably only takes a minute for it to go online for everybody all over the world to see. The other station is a voice-only channel where we communicate timely information of two types. One is emergency data that may arise because we've got horses in dangerous places on this 100 miles, and also a horse that gets pulled by the vet who says this horse is not fit to continue, has to leave the course, but they can't just walk out. So we have transport drivers. These are volunteers that have horse rigs that will now transport those pulled horses and their riders back to Auburn. If there's some kind of medical issue with the horse, they can take them all the way down to Auburn. They could take them down to UC Davis if they have to, or Loomis Basin Veterinary Clinic in Loomis. But that is all handled by voice. That's immediate transmission. So when there's an event, we immediately tell everybody. And that's what the other guys are doing. They're sitting over across the site here next to the in timers. So that's basically what we do. And every site is doing essentially what we're doing. We're organized this way. Some sites have one or two operators, maybe three, and they do all of it, whereas we do it in two pieces. But we're all doing the same thing all day.